Alice's Curious Fall. Once upon a sunny afternoon, a young girl named Alice was sitting with her sister by the riverbank. She was beginning to feel very bored when suddenly a peculiar sight caught her eye. A white rabbit with pink eyes ran past her. But this was no ordinary rabbit. It was wearing a waistcoat and carrying a pocket watch. Oh dear, I shall be late," the white rabbit exclaimed as he hurried along. Alice, burning with curiosity, leapt to her feet and chased after the rabbit. She followed him across the field until he disappeared down a large rabbit hole. Without thinking twice, Alice leaned over to look inside. The next thing she knew, she was tumbling down into the darkness. It felt like she was falling for miles and miles. She passed cupboards and bookshelves, maps and pictures. Well, thought Alice, after such a fall as this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave they'll all think me at home. Finally, with a soft thud, Alice landed on a bed of dry leaves. She got up and looked around, finding herself in a long, low hall lit up by rows of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors all around the hall, but they were all locked. Alice wondered how she would ever get out. Just then, she noticed a small glass table with 3 legs. On it was a tiny golden key. Alice tried the key in all the locks, but alas, either the locks were too large or the key was too small. At last, she discovered a tiny door behind a curtain. The key fitted perfectly. Opening the door, she found it led into a beautiful garden filled with bright flowers and cool fountains. However, the door was too small for her to fit through. Disappointed, but determined, Alice went back to the table and noticed a small bottle that had magically appeared. It had a label that read, "Drink me." Alice hesitated, remembering her lessons not to drink anything unfamiliar, but her curiosity got the better of her. She took a small sip and immediately began to shrink. Soon, Alice was small enough to fit through the door, but to her dismay, she had left the key on the table, now high above her head. She sat down and cried, but then noticed a small glass box under the table. Inside it was a tiny cake with the words, "Eat me," written in currants. Hoping it might make her grow, she took a bite. To her astonishment, Alice started to grow taller and taller until her head hit the ceiling. Now too big to get through the door, she was in a worse predicament than before. What would Alice do next? Would she ever find her way into the beautiful garden? And where had that mysterious white rabbit gone? Stay tuned for the next episode of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.